What is up, everybody? D-Man back, and yes, one day after we got a whole bunch of news for Shin, we got new pictures, plot details. The very first plot details we've gotten, we got to see the names and the things that the cast will be doing, like what their jobs are and all that stuff. And then the very next day, which is today, I'm not sure the date, checking my phone right now. Today is June 15th, and we're about a month out from Shin Gojira. It comes out the 29th, I'm pretty sure, of next month. So we're about a month out. We're closing in on a month. Um, and we got more news in the form of kind of a goofy trailer. It's a funny trailer, or not even a trailer. It's a TV spot commercial. We'll talk about that in a minute, guys. So, yep, we got even more Shin Gojira news. Now, because it's still a day later, there is still tons of hate surrounding that image of Godzilla coming out of the water. And I have to admit, guys, that the more I look at it, the more used to it I've become. And at this point, I've already accepted it as the new Godzilla. So, at this point, I'm fine with the design. But anyways, we're getting more bowling pin jokes. Never skip arm day. Yeah, very funny. Uh, that one's funny. We get this one before running a 10K every day, after running a 10K every day. And this one is very similar to the other picture that I showed yesterday of that, which I think that one's hilarious. Just the huge buff Godzilla. I mean, look at that. It's not that much of a difference. Anyways, guys, let's get into the actual news, shall we? So yesterday we got this picture released of Shin Gojira walking through the water, him coming on land. Now I'm confused if this is supposed to be his initial attack or not. I would assume it isn't, only because of my theory that he's growing through the movie and he looks too big at this scene compared to later on in the original trailer. So I'd assume this is his second attack, guys. And also, here's a cool image I found where they compared the Google Maps image of the location where that scene was filmed compared to the actual location. If you guys would just remember really fast to yesterday's video, when I mentioned the fact that I thought Godzilla was probably about a half mile away from those telephone poles, it looks like I was correct. The power lines that are in front of him are probably about knee high on him. When he walks up to where they are, they're probably like a half mile in front of him. Probably like a half mile in front of him. That was a pretty good guesstimate in my opinion. I mean, look at that. Godzilla's storming up on land. I'm pretty sure that white marker on the beach that we see is supposed to be where Godzilla comes ashore, or where he is in the picture. Maybe he looks quite further out than that, in my opinion, because he's still got water splashing up at his feet. So I don't know where he is on the picture, but I'd assume he probably is about a half mile away from those telephone. And as we're going to see here in a second when we take a look at this TV spot that was released, Godzilla moves super slow. We already knew he moved slow based off the trailer, but Jesus, he is moving so slow in this new commercial we see. But then again, that is more realistic than 2014, who was kind of really fast compared to what he should be based off his size. This Godzilla is doing a really good job at showing weight. This movie is giving us the weight of Godzilla, because in Godzilla's mind, he's moving fast. Us humans are just zipping by, and he's probably very confused by it, if he even cares that humans are there. But like trains and cars and helicopters, those things would be moving super fast to him. Whereas in his world, he's fast. He's the fast mover. So just interesting perspective, I guess. But yeah, let's get into this trailer. We're gonna watch it once and then we'll break it down, okay? Now, when you click on this YouTube link that I have left in the description, this is what you're going to see. Some Japanese text, all that stuff. Very hard for an American like me to be able to tell what's going on in this picture, other than the fact that it's a TV spot of Godzilla. So here it is in English, guys. If you want to quickly read the description here, you can. So there you go. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. If you want, you could pause the video. Let's get right into this breakdown, shall we? We're going to, first, like I said, just watch the trailer once. Alright, so that's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to turn the volume off, so I won't be able to hear it. You guys will.
PARCO グランバザール開催 PARCO
Now there are some very interesting things going on here, alright? We'll go back, we'll start it over, but we'll slow it down, okay? I'm going to put it into very, very slowness for us to check this all out, because there's a lot I want to talk about. So first of all, we see the motion, what it looks like in motion, Godzilla walking through the beach. So right here we're reaching the point where the picture was, the picture from yesterday. Alright, now I'm going to go back so we can talk about that for a second. Okay, cool thing, we see all the people running. If you pay attention here, there's cars driving by, so we know that's a street. Like I said, I think he's about a half mile in front of these telephone poles. I could be wrong, I don't know. But I like this shot, it's very ominous. Like, look at it, you see happy tourists everywhere, you see a playground in the distance, and then you just get Godzilla coming ashore. And I'm sure in the actual movie that this alarm will be going off, this thing doing the old nuke alarm sound, so I'm sure we'll be getting that. Alright, now check this out, guys. You guys all recognize this. This is from the Shin Gojira trailer, almost. I say almost, that's important. There's quite a few key differences. For one, this giant thing, if you look up here, it looks like that's just another movie coming out this summer in 2016 for Japan. So that looks like that's all that they're doing. They're just sticking him in there to cross-promote. It's kind of like what they're doing with Evangelion, how they're cross-promoting with Evangelion and Godzilla. But anyways, the differences also come in. We don't see a trail of smoke. We see a trail of smoke in the actual Shin Gojira trailer. Also, these people aren't in the same place as they are in the trailer. The camera angle's a bit different, so I think this takes place seconds before that Shin Gojira trailer does. Alright. See, the people are all running. These people are going to run down the street here. That's where the Shin Gojira trailer picks up. Alright, here's also a shot we can stitch together with the Shin Gojira trailer. Watch the tail in the background. It's going to pull away, and then it cuts. Alright, it cuts to this guy, but it pulls away. I'll stitch it in here where it is in the trailer. His tail is going to come down and be right here, and that's one of the more famous shots from the trailer, is his tail being right here. I'll show it right now. There we go. So that's what's going on here. That's just right before that, seconds before. Now we crossfade into this dude looking. Alright, now check this out. This is important. He's taking a big huff in. We already know that this guy is in replacement of Godzilla in one of the previous shots of the trailer. So, what do I think is going on here? I think he is in this scene instead of Godzilla, replacing Godzilla. I think that is going to be one of our very first, probably our very first reveal scene for the atomic breath. Alright, hear me out. So we see that we're in a city, right? We know this city from the Shin Gojira trailer. I'll stitch that part in here. So we know that this is from the Shin Gojira trailer. This, I think he's going to walk up when he's getting blasted in the legs, take a big deep breath in, just like this guy does, watch. He takes a big deep breath in, and I think he's about to shoot out atomic breath. I think Godzilla is. So now we get what I'm assuming is a shot from the beach here, where we once again edit this guy in instead of Godzilla. This is going to be Godzilla's foot touching ground on the beach. Very first scene where Godzilla makes land, probably. I know I said maybe that wasn't his initial attack. Based off this right here, this big reveal, I'm starting to second guess myself. I don't know if this will be his initial attack, or I don't know if this won't be his initial attack after all. Based off this, I'm thinking it is, just because this seems like a big reveal shot for the movie. Alright guys, here is where the interesting things come in. This is a new shot. We've never seen this of Godzilla before. If we could edit that guy out, that'd be great, but we can't. New shot of Godzilla moving through the city. We see his tail coming through the smoke here. Godzilla, we know what, well, I'm going to speculate on what part this is in the trailer. Godzilla's foot's going to come down, then we're going to see his tail swing over the buildings, and it'll be that very first opening shot from the trailer right after Godzilla roars. That's what I think is we're about to see in the actual movie. Whether or not I think there will be another giant monster here in this dude's place, because we already know he's been replacing giant monsters, which is Godzilla, up to now. That's a good question. I would certainly hope not. I hope this is a solo Godzilla movie, but it very well could be that this guy is actually a different kaiju that fights Godzilla in the movie. Alright. So what is this? We'll talk about this a little more in a second here, but this just looks like another scene where Godzilla is going to be trudging his way through. He's going to be making his way across the land. He'll probably break the bridge as he goes from one place to another. There's a city in the background. Looks very cool. Whether or not this guy's going to be replacing a different kaiju, once again a good question. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So there's Godzilla. We see his tail. It doesn't look too huge here. I think it looks bigger in certain shots than it does in others. Alright, this... I don't know what the hell's going on here. This guy takes off in the air. He's flying. Could that be proof of like Rodan or Gojira being the monster we're facing in this movie? I don't know. Good question. We won't know until next month. So what's going on here? This dude's flying over the city. If you guys couldn't tell, this is just a different version of the shot from the Shin Gojira trailer where we see the Godzilla tail swing over the city. So that's all that's going on here, guys. Let's watch it full speed one more time. It's very short, 15 seconds. There's a lot in that 15 seconds. I think that little guy's moving faster than Godzilla.
PARCO グランバザール開催 PARCO
One more thing I wanted to add really fast, guys. I didn't get to talk about this during the actual breakdown that I just did, only because I forgot about it, or I didn't notice it up until now. But there was something very interesting that I missed as Godzilla, or as this weird panda-looking monster foot comes down on the beach, which is replacing Godzilla's foot, so I'm just going to refer to him as Godzilla. As Godzilla's foot slams on the beach, we actually hear the classic roar, similar to the original Showa roar. So a lot of people have been thinking that this movie will use the 1985/84 roar, or if it'll use the 54 roar. Seems like they won't, only because this commercial, along with the actual trailer, Those didn't use the 54 roar, although the original teaser trailer from back in December, that one used the 54 roar. So it could go either way, but at this point I'm going to say it's pretty much confirmed that it will be the Showa roar. So guys, quick discovery. I searched up Shin Godzilla on YouTube, Shin Gojira on YouTube, because I wanted to find that original trailer. That way I could pull some clips and edit it into this video that I've been working on, the one that you guys are watching right now. Pay attention to this, because what I've found here is called Thin Godzilla Notice. This is the official teaser trailer, which should look like this. And before I wouldn't have known what that said, I wouldn't have known what any of this said. But now that I have this translation key in my Google, now I can see all of this. Now I can see that it's the actual Toho movie channel, not just some re-upload of it. Toho calls this Thin Godzilla. That's their original title, Thin Godzilla. And if you guys would pay attention to the English updated title, or not even updated, the English title for this TV spot, look at what he's called. He's called Thin Godzilla. Now, the whole time I had been thinking that Shin meant New Godzilla, / we knew it meant New Godzilla, God Godzilla, or True Godzilla. There might be another Japanese dialect that they're pulling the word from, which uses it as Thin Godzilla. I don't know why they would call it that, maybe because his top half is so thin, but look at that bottom half, that's not thin, I don't know. It might just be a translation error, gets lost in translation, I don't know. For now, I'm just going to keep to it as New Godzilla or True Godzilla, but Thin Godzilla is interesting to me. Anyways, guys, that's all I wanted to talk about, just a side note. Yeah, so Shin Gojira equals New Godzilla in my opinion. I don't know why it says Thin Godzilla. That's all I wanted to say. So, now let's get into talking about individual scenes from the trailer. Here we go, we got Godzilla walking, through the commercial rather. Here we go, we got Godzilla walking. Like I said, you see cars passing by in front. Everyone's running away. Look how fast they clear that area. They are panicked. As you would be if Godzilla was making shore, or was coming upon shore. One thing that I like about this particular scene in general is the fact that Godzilla is clearly walking out of shore. I think that looks way cooler than the way he does in the Legendary movies when he swims up onto land. I also, it might be more realistic for a monster like Godzilla to create a tidal wave as he comes upon shore, but I think this looks really cool as it is. I think this shot looks awesome. And like I said, I've gotten used to seeing Godzilla with big fatty hips already. So that should just be a good sign for the movie that, yeah, I think it'll grow on me. I hope it will grow on you guys. You guys is in the Godzilla fandom. I hope people can move on past some of the bad design choices. And what do you know? Let's edit in another clip of me talking here, me being an idiot from yesterday. Did I not say that I thought a lot of the problems with the scene, with the picture, came from Godzilla's tail angle being here? Yeah, I did. I said that I think a lot of people are saying he's fatter than he is because the tail is right there. It was right there in the actual picture, which created a lot of confusion. People thought that his legs were just that fat. And I called it. I know what I'm looking at when I'm looking at it, guys. There we go. Look, the leg is that fat. This side is still pretty fat. This is fat, but it looks like maybe a lot of the fat that we're seeing might just be the tail. Also, I think the angle is kind of weird here, so we're seeing more of Godzilla's leg than we should. I do agree, though, he is kind of not as big as he should be on the top, but like I said, it's growing on me. I'm sure by the time I see the movie, which... like it or not, Japan, I'm seeing it next month. I'm sure I will have moved on past the legs at that point. Anyways, now we got this screenshot from the trailer. It's got the missing Japanese text over the picture. That way we can see a little bit better. This is really cool. Ignore that weird stuffed animal looking character right there. This looks awesome of Godzilla. Let's just get rid of him entirely, shall we? There we go, much better. Now we even got some higher definition of quality. So, here's the thing that I wanted to talk about. Look at this. Godzilla is making his way up onto land, or is making his way across this bridge, okay? Here's the interesting things. Godzilla's design, he looks great in this scene. This is another one of those times where the angle of the suit really works. And I really like the, I guess you could say the kind of balls that Toho has to keep showing Godzilla in broad daylight. That is awesome. Keep it up. But what is going on here? So clearly Godzilla is walking his way through. And I think we might be going probably something similar to the route that was taken in the Heisei series, where Godzilla walks and just explosions follow him. Like, I don't even think he realizes that he causes as much destruction as he does, because look at this. We see smoke just everywhere behind him. So it's cool, guys. So he's going to make his way forward. What is going on here? Is there another kaiju here, or is that specifically edited in for this picture where we get the weird-looking dude in there also? I don't know. I would assume if that's there not for the trailer, then yeah, there's going to be another kaiju in the movie, and it's standing right here, and Godzilla's making his way towards it. The only other thing that I could think of as to why this is here, if it wasn't edited in for that commercial, which, like I said, it probably was, because look at the way it blends into the water. That looks very cheap, very unprofessional. So I'm assuming this is just for the TV spot. But look at the line of fire from Godzilla's mouth to here. Could there have been a boat making its way down this river? Godzilla gets mad, atomic breaths it. I don't know. It's just something to think about. So, like I said, I think from this angle, the suit works really well. We've already just done our speculation on what that dust means. There are just important questions we need to ask. Also, I'm trying to make this video shorter than yesterday's. If you guys think I've been talking really fast or rushing, I apologize. I just don't want another 30-minute video to edit. Also, take a look at this bridge. The bridge in this picture is very reminiscent of the bridge in this picture. That could just be some similar Japanese architecture. I don't know if this is how bridges in Japan look typically. I know American bridges don't usually look like that. Some of them do, but not always. But I think this will be a very reminiscent scene of that moment from Gojira when Godzilla walks up to the bridge and throws it over. I think that would be a great callback for them to do that over again. Not to do over again, but like I said, to do a callback for it, to do a scene similar. Also, right here, guys, we've already talked about this, what happens directly after this, but I want you guys to take a look, because this is a cool shot of Godzilla. I know a lot of people are making fun of the eyes in this picture, have the eyes look dumb, but I think they look fine. They look like he's been mutated. He shouldn't look pretty. So I think he looks fine. I just think that's cool to see. Also, the tail looks, it's too big here. I don't think Godzilla's tail should really ever go above his own head. But having said that, I think the fact that it does, I just think they make it look good in the fact that they made that decision in the first place. I think they play it off pretty well. Alright, now we got this picture. We talked a little bit about that during the actual trailer breakdown, or commercial. I don't know why I keep calling it a trailer, guys. We know what's going to happen after this, according to me. His tail's going to swing over a whole bunch of buildings. I just really like this. And this commercial, this Godzilla commercial, reminds me so much of the 2014 commercial we got. If you guys remember, there was that Fiat 500 or Fiat something, Fiat some number commercial we got, where it was Godzilla 2014 stomping his way through the city, eating all the Fiats, and then he tries to eat the four-door and he can't swallow it.
He's back! And it looks like he's craving Italian.
The four-door Fiat 500L. It's a lot bigger than you think.
This commercial reminds me of that a lot, in the fact that both of them are silly commercials, yet both of them revealed so much. If you guys remember back to 2014, Godzilla's design was almost an entire mystery. We had seen very few shots of him in the trailers, and the shots that we saw weren't actually in the movie. He looked different than he did in the movie. But then along comes that commercial when he looked just like he did in 2014. We saw the way he'd move in that movie. We heard his roar. We saw him actually do the roar. It was really cool to see that trailer. And I remember when it very first came out, that Fiat commercial, I screenshotted like every second of that on my phone and posted it all on Instagram. I was so excited. And this commercial has me pretty much the exact same way. All these pictures you've been seeing have been screenshots from my phone because I think it's really cool. It's fun to tear into this and see what it means. Also, here is another really good shot of how many dorsal fins Godzilla has on his back. If we want to edit in that clip from yesterday, I will. I don't know if I will go that route or not, only because I'm lazy. So if you guys see what I'm talking about right now, then good for me. That means I took the extra time to go back and find that part too. There's about as many rows of spines on his back as there are with the Shin Gojira design. Anyways, guys, moving on. That is pretty much all I had to talk about. So I'd like to thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys check this video out. Who checked this video out? I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took some stuff away from it. That's why I do this. I do this to share my theories, to share my beliefs, to let other people know what they might have missed. So, thank you guys all so much for watching. If you would be so kind to leave a like or comment, I read all comments, I respond to most. And if you even want to subscribe, please do. I would love the support. Thank you guys all so much for watching. D-Man out.